Oof. Hello. Hello. Good evening, Nickelodeon. Duncan, welcome. Paul, welcome. Up the Villa. Welcome, guys. We'll be getting started very shortly here. Just let a couple more people get into the live stream. A lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about with this Leeds game. You know, evening, Black Country Villa. It feels like a must-win, doesn't it, already? Every game feels like a must-win when we're in this kind of running. The demise of the Villa Park podcast channel. This is now the main Villa fan phone-in. I bloody hope so. Share it round. If you can get all of your guys, you seem to know everyone, Duncan, and Black Country Villa. You guys know everyone. Get everyone in. I do enjoy these lives. I'm going to try and do more of them. I do prefer them, I think. You know, I get to talk to you guys, which is ultimately what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? But a lot to talk about today. We're going to go through the Leeds game. Obviously, I'll be sharing the screen, getting it up, all that good stuff. We'll talk about that. ALYSSON. More updates on ALYSSON. Not good ones, I'm afraid, to burden your Friday evening. More updates on HARVEY ELLIOT. And it's not a good look for Villa, the updates that have come out on HARVEY ELLIOT today. And then, of course, obviously, like I say, the Leeds preview, predictions, all of that good stuff. And then any comments that you guys have, just chuck them in the live chat. And we'll have a good two-way discussion about what on earth is going to happen, not only in this Leeds game, but what's been happening with ALYSSON, what's happening with ELLIOT. What's going on in Villa's training sessions? Because I genuinely think that Villa's training sessions at this moment in time, they must be like Mean Machine. You know, is it Mean Machine? Or is that the American one? No, the American one was Longest Yard. Mean Machine, the British version. Jason Statham, Vinnie Jones, I think was in it. Danny Dyer? Was Danny Dyer in Mean Machine? I think he was. They must just be kicking lumps out of each other. Look at that. Duncan's going to help out. Much appreciated. Look at that. We make that one happen. That's I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, it must be Mean Machine in our training sessions because we have more injuries to talk about today. More injuries to talk about in this Leeds preview. And ALYSSON is one of them. Apparently ELLIOT's injured as well. But ALYSSON is one of the injuries. He will not feature against Leeds, despite coming on for 10 minutes and looking promising. I didn't see him hobble. I didn't see him pick up a knock. I didn't really even see him get tackled that much in the Brighton game. Obviously, he was absent for the Newcastle game in the Cup, and now he's not here. Injured again, apparently. No details on what the injury is, just that he's injured and he's not going to feature against Leeds. Now, I did tweet out a little bit reactionary from Roger's reports, I have to say. I replied to both Jacob Tanswell and John Townley and said, just like, is this just what the club's telling you? Like, do you actually believe this? I just can't see this injury being legit. I think it's got to be more a case of Emery just doesn't trust him. Emery wants him to give him more time to bed him in, but maybe he senses some of the frustration. The club senses some of the frustration. So we're just saying he's injured. Like, is that, do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me because he literally played, what was it? 10, 15, was it even 20 minutes against Brighton? And looked absolutely fine to me. You know, he didn't show any signs of being injured in that game at all. Showed exactly what we knew about him from the videos that I've done previously on the channel when I saw him and sort of watched him playing for Gremio. A strong, powerful, willing runner who's, you know, happy to track back and do the dirty work as well. So I don't know, really confused about that ALYSSON one. And then ELLIOT as well. We'll have a quick chat about Harvey Elliott before we get into the Leeds preview. Diego Carlos famously wasn't injured before. Oh, sorry, Liam, let me put your comment up on the stage here. Diego Carlos famously wasn't injured before his move. Different situation. but the club have a history. I don't know. Honestly, our training sessions must be recreations of Mean Machine. You know when Jason Statham's in goal in that? I think it is Jason Statham that's in goal in that film. And he's stood in goal and the game's going on. Then he has like those like psychotic episodes in his mind where he's just running around booting people. Is Marco Bizot doing that in training? That's the main question I think we all need to find out. Elliot as well. So Harvey Elliott, apparently injured. And I'm putting it in quotation marks because, again, how's he been injured? Handing the bibs out? Was he injured putting the cones out for the lads? You know, was he bringing Emery his morning cup of tea and he spilt it over his hand and he's got like some burn injuries? So what is he out with? Because it's getting a little bit silly now. It's getting a little bit silly now. Now, what I wanted to talk about with the Harvey Elliott thing before we get into the actual Leeds preview, you know, the lineups, all that good stuff. Although, with all the injuries, I think, again, apart from that striker situation, the lineup pretty much writes itself. But where was I going with that? Oh, Elliott. Completely lost my train of thought. It's been a long week. Elliott. So it's come out today. And this is not going to be a good look for Villa, I don't think. And I think people are already seeing it as a bit of a bad look for Villa. Elliott, his 10-game clause, obligation clause, whatever it is, only counts to... Now, I'm not 100% sure about whether it's just the Premier League or it also extends to domestic cups as well. But it doesn't apply to European games. So all of those times that Harvey Elliott was left out of our squads in Europe or sat on the bench for 90 minutes, that's a choice. Because he could have played in all of those games. He could play in 50 games in Europe for us this season. We don't have to trigger that obligation to buy him. So, James on Plains. Hey, Leeds fan here. Reckon you'll win as we've only won one Premier League game all season? That's definitely not true. You've won bloody loads. What's he on about? Is he on about away games? Have you only won one away game? Let me have a look here. You can't have only won one game a season. You've been doing all right this year, I thought. Unless I've been living under a rock. I've seen Leeds pick up some really good results. We will go through all of the teams and stuff like that very, very shortly. Away. Yes. Yeah, away. Okay, that's fine. I was about to say, I thought I was going to give Leeds a lot of credit for how they've been performing this season. Ellen Road is a horrible, horrible place. I'm so glad we managed to pick up the win there early on in the season. Yes, James, thank you. One away game. James, whilst you're still here, if you are still here, drop it. I don't care how long the comment is, mate. I'll read it all. Give us a little bit of insight into Leeds. I did try and get a couple of Leeds podcasty fan channels on again, but I'm just being ignored. February's a hard month for YouTube, apparently. Yeah, Duncan, they're away from home. Just play Elliot in Europe now. I mean, we could have been playing him the whole season in Europe, Duncan. It's so frustrating. Again, the media, I think, has been pretty on Villa the last couple of months, and we've threatened to disrobe the top six and expose their fleshy interior. And this is just another perfectly timed article, isn't it? After all the stuff about Emery might be going to Real Madrid. You know, all of that other noise around Morgan Rogers is going to Bayern Munich, PSG, Tottenham, Chelsea. If you believe the rumours, he's going to every club in the world. He might play for 18 clubs next season. They're just going to loan him out 1 week at a time. Yeah, Emery going to Real Madrid. And now it comes out that Villa could have been playing Harvey Elliott more with absolutely no strings attached. I think it's all just it's just to niggle at us when we go into these games. Ellen Road is a fortress. Hey, Ellen Road is a bloody fortress as well. But there we go. There's the Harvey Elliott news. There's the ALYSSON news. He's still injured. One bit of good news before we get into the preview. Matthew Bartholomew Cash. I'm pretty sure that's his full name. Or it's Matthias Kashki. You know, depends where he's playing. Is he playing for the Poland national team or is he playing for Aston Villa? Or is he going to go back to Slough United, of course, where he was born? Slough FC. He's back in training, fit, available for selection. And because we have no other right backs, because Andres Garcia is half man, half... What is he? I mean, I don't know what I say Onana's made out of the same material that the grannies knit shreddies with. Andres Garcia, I don't know what he's made out of. Moss? No, because moss is quite robust, I guess. I'm trying to think, what's something that just breaks apart? Whatever factory makes the little wheat biscuits, you know, like their Weetabix ripoffs, because those brothers need no invitation to fall apart. He's a rich tea after 2 dunks. The brother just collapses. So he's not going to be in the team. So I guess, there you go. Matthew Stewart Cash, good Polish name. Good Polish name. You know what? I bottled it. I've been to Poland twice. And the first time I went was when Cash was like really, really not having a good time for Villa. And there was a Matty Cash, it was in Krakow. There was a Matty Cash top staring me in the face, and I should have bloody got it. A Poland one, obviously, not a Villa one. But there we go. Matty Cash is back, which is very good news, which is absolutely spectacular news for Aston Villa that he is back in the team and, like I say, will be starting. Now, should we have a little look? Should we have a little look and preview this game, shall we? Let me move myself down to here. Kamara is a rich tea after 3 dunks. He is. He is. You know, this is the consistency of Kamara, consistency of Rich T. Kamara after 5 games, Rich T after a dunk. Kamara after a few games, Rich T after 3 dunks. They're the same thing. They are the same thing. So this is our midfield, by the way, guys. Kamara's a Rich T after 3 dunks. Anana was made in the same factory that Granny's knit shreddies. Andef Garcia, our right back, is made out of the same factory that make Weet-Bix. The Lidl's rip-offs of Weetabix. I mean, there's definitely some more to be said for some other players in our team as well. James on Plains, here we go. A little bit of Leeds United insight before we get into the preview. We've been solid since we've changed formation to the 3-5-2. Only lost 2 games, being Arsenal and Newcastle. We're tough to beat. We have so much quality. Might be too much for us. Well, historically, we struggle against teams that go 5 at the back, mate. Do you guys sit in a lot since you've changed that formation? Because I always associate Daniel Farker with being quite, you know, he wants his teams to be quite expressive. They play good football, especially when he was at Norwich. Obviously, that's a bit different because he had the best team in the Championship, not a team that's sort of bottom half of the Premier League. But have you been a bit more sort of robust defensively since you've changed to that 3 at the back? And is it, whenever any team goes 3 at the back, it's effectively a 5 at the back, isn't it? Interesting. Right, let me get the old footy mobby up. Gotta love the old footy mobby. Get the old screen sharing as well. Right, here we go. Just share that window. Get this up for you guys. Get this up. Right. Let me just change the media assets over. God, it's so technical, guys. It's so technical. Right. We have the foot mob. Aston Villa versus Leeds United. At Villa Park. Is Villa Park a fortress? Discuss in the comments below. It might not be at the moment. Our recent form at Villa Park, our recent form overall, not fantastic, but we have to go into this with a little bit of confidence. As Duncan and James have both pointed out, Leeds United 1 win away from home this season. Aston Villa, historically under Unai Emery, have made Villa Park a bit of a fortress, but we'll see. We'll go through. This is the predicted lineups that FootMob has gone through. Obviously, this might be slightly impacted by the fact that both teams did obviously play FA Cup games recently. Villa actually play a game at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. I saw somewhere, I think it's our first 3 p.m. Saturday kickoff in like 400 days. It's definitely been over a calendar year, I believe. Ridiculous, isn't it? Hey, part of the territory of being in Europe, I guess. We won't worry too much about the predicted lineup that FootMob's gone for Villa, because we will obviously go through the lineup that I think is going to happen with you guys very shortly. But in terms of Leeds, what players do I think are really good or impressive for Leeds? Darlow, I think he's an all right keeper. Bijol, good defender. Now this lad here, Goodmanson, I think he might run a marathon each game. Every time I watched Goodmanson and Aronson, to be fair, they just don't stop running. It's a really busy left-hand side for Leeds. which is a worry because we might be coming into this game with Lamar Bogard. We don't know. Is he going to want to throw Matty Cash straight in? Is it that he's back and available for selection, but we know that we could irritate that injury? So perhaps he goes for Bogard. Sancho, who, for all that he's been doing really, really well for Villa recently, he still isn't the best defensively for a winger, let's be fair here. You have Onana that can pick up the slack and Konsa as well. But that left-hand side for me is a bit of a worry. Now, Calvert-Lewin, how's he been playing so well this season? Hold on, we've got a couple of comments here, guys. Let's get into these. Will Rodgers be right wing, Sancho left wing? I think Sancho seems to have cemented that right wing spot, doesn't he? I think Emery likes Sancho as a right winger. And obviously, his golden boy, Morgan Rodgers, we're not going to output him from the left wing position, are we? I think Perry could save us. He had an insane game in the cup, and Darlow's been shocking. Goodmanson is class. Of course, yes, you do have. Do you still have that young keeper on your books? Can't remember. We'll go through your team very, very shortly. You might be referring to that young keeper that everyone hated on for a long, long time. Maybe you're on about him, but yeah, Goodmanson and Aronson. I think their energy down that left-hand side is going to be a big cause of concern for Villa. Now, is Willy Gnotto going to start? Because he's a really, really good player. You know, this lad's only like 20 still, I think. He's 22. Does he just not feel like he's been around for ages? 135 games for Leeds. This season in the Prem, only getting an assist and 4 starts, which I'm surprised about because I think he's a really, really good player. You know, pacey, quick, aggressive, strong, makes things happen. Ampadu as well, I believe he's the Leeds captain. He's having an all right season, passable season. But I think, you know, Mazzelia is our third choice keeper now. Perry was signed in the summer, played for Leeds. Okay, so maybe we'll see Perry in goal. I mean, Darlow, how old is Darlow? Is he 35? Yeah, I thought he might be getting on. I did think he might be getting on. But Leeds, again, there's a lot of quality in that Leeds, especially that left-hand side. Now I'm seeing it there. I don't like that left-hand side, especially if we do have Lamar Bogard and Jadon Sancho as our 2 right-sided defenders. That could cause problems. And obviously, Calvert-Lewin, target man, striker, physical, something that we do struggle with. If Pau Torres gets the nod over Tyrone Mings, which I would imagine he would, then that could be obviously a cause for concern as well. Now, in terms of our injuries, obviously, Marco Bazot suspended. Did anyone think that anyone else apart from Emi Martinez would be starting this game? No, he's turning it around from having one of the dodgiest starts of the season. And he's still making a few mistakes that I don't like. But credit where it's due, he's probably the outstanding keeper of the Premier League so far this season, especially stats-wise. Duncan Kilburn, I hope Tammy starts. We'll go through it. You know what I mean? The Rodgers reports and the Rodgers reports family lineup will be coming up after this, where we do it all together. But in terms of our injuries, obviously the big 3, I'll call them the big 3 because that's exactly what it's going to be for Villa until, mid-April. Yuri Tielemans, John McGinn, Boubacar Kamara still out. Now, Matty Cash is back. Do not let FootMob take away from that lovely, lovely fact that Matty Cash is back, fit, trained, available for selection. Andres Garcia, like I say, I think he might be the world's first AI footballer. And I think it's just a hologram when we see him on the pitch. I'm not 100% sure that he actually exists. He might be AI, as Boris Johnson would say. Boris Johnson actually used ChatGPT. He said, can you make me a Spanish right back? That's pretty much what he said. And then Andres Garcia spawned out of thin air. It's technology, guys. Technology is crazy. Let me tell you. Now, let's look at the form of both teams. Villa, it's weird. Usually I come into these match previews and I look at the form of both teams and I'm like, bloody hell, yeah, we played that one like 7 days ago, that one 3 days ago, but it actually feels like a long time ago that we beat Salzburg 3-2. Obviously, Brentford came to Villa Park and with 10 men beat us 1-0. We then drew 1-1 to Bournemouth before getting what ultimately was a lucky win, but nonetheless a win against Brighton 1-0. And then obviously Newcastle, we were down to 10 men. I actually thought we played all right with 11 men in that game before Marco Bazot got sent off. And then we eventually did go on to lose. Again, I was in Iceland, so I didn't put up a review of that game. Don't mind it. I don't think we have the squad to play in the Europa League, Premier League and FA Cup. So I genuinely didn't mind us losing that game. And you know, with 11 men, I thought we were actually playing really, really well. Leeds come into this game on a 1-1 draw against Everton, a 4-0 loss against Arsenal, team we will be talking about. 3-1 drumming of Nottingham Forest, so that isn't too hard. They played excellently, absolutely excellently in that 2-2 draw against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Again, possibly their away form, they're getting a little bit better. 2 of their last games drawn away from home. And then they did do what every Villa fan wanted them to do and beat Birmingham City 4-2 on penalties in the FA Cup. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, isn't it, Birmingham, when you're trying to make out a rivalry that just really doesn't exist anymore because you are not getting into the Premier League anytime soon. But let's look at the table. Right, where are we? Here we are. Let me slide that over for you guys so it's a bit more central. The big news coming out of the Premier League over the last couple of days. Arsenal, thanks to a 94th minute own goal from Calafiori, dropped 2 points against who, by 1 point, are still technically the worst team the Premier League's ever seen, in Wolverhampton Wanderers. Incredible. Dropping 2 points to bottom of the table. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Now, they play Spurs on the 22nd, which must be Sunday, right? Yeah. Yeah, of course it is. It's Friday. Mathematics, guys. Never my strong point. Spurs just sacked Thomas Frank. New manager bounce. They're in a relegation scrap as well. They're going to have to win that game. Tasty one for Arsenal. Tasty one for Arsenal. And that is a Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well. West Brom, League One. Wolves and Birmingham, League One next season. God, a bit of light and day between the Midland clubs, eh? Apart from Nottingham. Nottingham's kind of just above the Midlands, isn't it? I don't know. My geography ain't fantastic. Don't crucify me. So Arsenal drop points. They are 8 points ahead of us. We have a game in hand. If we beat Leeds, at least until they play Spurs on Sunday, we will be just 5 points behind them. My maths. Not looking up, to be honest. Arsenal and City can do whatever. I'm more worried about Manchester United plus Chelsea. Of course, we're going to get onto that. Of course, we are going to get onto that. Don't you worry. I just don't want Arsenal to win the league, so I'm hoping that Man City, well, there's only one big club in the West Midlands and one in the East, Forest, yeah. No worries, a bit of a scare. We were horrible. Can you be horrible against us again? That would be fantastic. Sorry, James, but I am a Villa fan, and ultimately I want to beat you. Yeah, you got the job done. That's all that matters. Yeah, it does. So, again, yeah, I know, look up, but City play Newcastle. That's not an easy game. Newcastle have just turned a bit of a screw in terms of their form. Now look below us. That's where we need to be looking, isn't it? Let fucking know. That's where we need to be looking, is below us right now. Now, Brentford, 10 points below us, could be an issue for us going forward, but I think we need to be looking at this cluster here, right? 5th should be enough to secure Champions League. Fellow European champions, of course, just us and the Forest, I don't know. Below us, we need to be looking at these 3 teams: Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United. We come into this game 5 points above United, 6 points above Chelsea, and 8 points above Liverpool. Now, we come into this game against Leeds, 15th placed. The hardest game on paper, and again, I know it's on paper, so you can't read too much into it sometimes. The hardest game on paper for what I'll call the UCL chasers, I think that's fair to say, us, United, Chelsea and Liverpool, would be Manchester United's game. They have to go up to the Hill Dickinson Stadium and play Everton. Obviously, Manchester United on an absolutely insane run of form before that 1-1 draw against West Ham. I think them and Chelsea were the most informed teams in the league up to that point. But they have the hardest game. They've got to go to Everton, who themselves are chasing European football now. Unbeaten in their last 3. Oh, no, sorry, that's Brentford. Only 1 loss, rather, in their last 5, beating Villa and Fulham at that time, drawing to Leeds, of course, we just went through that, and Brighton. But they are 8th. They're 3 points behind Brentford in 7th. Obviously, 7th should be more than enough to get into Europe this season. That's the hardest game. There you go. 100. That's the hardest game. So United could have a bit of another banana skin there. Chelsea, you would expect them to beat Burnley comfortably, right? Burnley are one of the other teams that are almost certainly relegated at this point. They did have a good win against Crystal Palace, but then Crystal Palace are handing out wins at the moment to pretty much whoever comes knocking. But, I mean, you look at their form. You know, West Ham beat them, Sunderland thrashed them, Tottenham. Yeah, fair enough. Liverpool's a good draw, but you'd expect Burnley to be resigned to relegation at this point. So you'd expect Chelsea to beat them quite handedly. It is at Stamford Bridge. I understand they've just drawn to Leeds. Yeah, how can I forget that one? At Stamford Bridge. You'd expect Chelsea to be picking up 3 points. And then Liverpool against Forest. Now, Liverpool coming off a good win against Sunderland. Obviously, a tough loss rather against City. Thrashing Newcastle. Bad loss against Bournemouth. So their form still very, very much up and down. Glasner may get the boot, I hear. Yes, I did see that literally tweeted out about half an hour before I started recording this. Obviously, we all know he's leaving in June. They might just cut their ties early and get rid of him because their form is horrid. Forest, yeah, they are. Where are they in the table? 17th. Firmly in that relegation scrap with West Ham. They've just gone and smashed Fenerbahce 3-0 in a Europa League qualifier for the round of 16, obviously, that we're already in. And they've got their new manager, Victor Pereira, I believe it is. Could be a new manager bounce that Liverpool have to deal with there. So that one isn't all said and done. James on Plains had 2 shots on target and scored them both times. We've been lucky all season. No more luck. No luck at Villa Park. I'm not having it. But again, you'd expect maybe Everton might be able to get a draw against United, obviously beaten with 10 men earlier this season. I would expect all 3 of those teams to get wins. Brighton go to Brentford. Brighton on, again, that horrible run of form. Are they going to turn it around? Obviously, Everton, then the ones below. Bournemouth have to play a very, very good West Ham team at the moment, picking up win and draw and whatever it is in their last few. And then Newcastle, Sunderland are playing Fulham, which is such a nothing team. Newcastle against City. So it is a game that has potentially huge implications on that UCL battle. And we need to win it. We need to win it, don't we? If we look at the last 5, Leeds are in better form than Villa. It's not really hard to be in worse form than Villa at the moment, is it? Apart from the real bad teams out there. Gibbs White to Villa. I would like that one. Looks like Forest may be our biggest test in Europa. I think it's probably going to be Lyon. Lyon I think they've won 14 games in a row or something since their new manager came in or something like that. Lyon are in real fine form. But we don't have to worry about the Europa League for another month. So but yeah, Leeds do come into this in better form than Villa, which is worrying, right? It's worrying. And our 2 biggest competitors for those UCL spots are first and second in the form table. So we need to buck our ideas up. There's no 2 ways about that. Now, in terms of home form, Villa, bang, where we are in the table. 3rd in the table, 9 wins, 3 losses, and a draw. 28 points from 13 games. Fantastic. Now, why is that important? Leeds, we've already mentioned it a couple of times, in terms of away form in the relegation zone. 1 win, 5 draws, and 7 losses. Now, what we don't want to do, hope you go and win it, like seeing sleeping giants like you and Newcastle doing well. Hopefully Leeds can do well in a couple of seasons' time. I think this probably isn't the right time for you this season to do something. You're not going to get relegated. So, you've already done that. It's been a bad spell, but not disastrous. Need McGinn back ASAP. Yeah, Tielemans and McGinn are big losses. But I do agree. I like seeing us, Forest, when they've done it, Newcastle. Even if Everton or Brentford can break that status quo this season and get into Europe, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. because the big six, right? Tottenham, the big six, mate. They're literally terrible. They're literally terrible. But yeah, Leeds do come into this one really struggling away from home. Again, the one thing that we need to watch out for is not to be sucked in to that middle column, that draw column. We can't be sucked into that. We need to go be positive and get a win. So, is everyone ready? Drum roll, please. I don't know if that would come through on the microphone. But should we do the team? Should we do the team? Everyone get ready. Everyone get ready. I want to see everybody in the live chat. Let me zoom in here for you so you guys can see what we are doing. There we go. There we go. So, I think we all know. I think we all know what's going to happen here. I think the comments just need a little bit of time to come back here, because they are not coming up. I can see them coming up on my YouTube, but they're not just coming up on StreamYard. So just give that a second and they will be coming up. There we go. 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 Would it be Leedsy for us to go down? Do you have good owners? Seem like they've got ambition. Leeds are not going down from this point. I think you're too good at Ellen Road, and you've got too much of a good squad to go down. So you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. And yes, our owners do seem really, really good. Really, really good. I've got no complaints. Real big clubs, yeah. You know who else we need back in the Prem, man? Middlesbrough and Portsmouth, man. Do you remember those two back in the day, man? I used to love watching Middlesbrough and Portsmouth games. I don't know why. Middlesbrough, I had a bit of a soft spot for Middlesbrough when I was younger. I want those teams back in the Prem, 100%. Agree. Emmy and right, yeah, sorry, guys, put your goalkeeper choices in. We have Emi Martinez or one of the youth keepers, because Marco Bizot's suspended. Who do we think? Debut of the warehouse tomorrow, apparently. As long as it brings in some revenue for the club, I'm all for it. God knows we need the revenue. We've got 2 votes for Emmy. Does someone want to throw James Wright in there? Sam Proctor? Any of our young keepers? Get rid of Brighton and get Pompey back. I used to love watching Pompey and Middlesbrough. I'm going to jump the gun here a little bit. No one's going to argue with Emi Martinez and go, are they? Surely not. Surely no one's arguing with that. Surely. Now, moving on to the right-back situation. Matty Cash just coming back from apparently a hamstring injury. Do you chuck Matty Cash straight in at right-back, or do we stick with the Marbo guard? Do we bring in Victor Lindelof and push Konsa out to right-back? Obviously, Leeds have a really, really strong left-hand side. Get your comments in the live chat now. Nickelodeon wants Matty Cash at right-back. Throw him straight back in at the deep end. He's going to have his work cut out against Leeds. Chuck Cash in. Gary Howlett. Now, obviously, part of the furniture of playing 3 at the back is if you do commit players forward, you are susceptible to being broken down the wings, because the 3 might go central. Maybe they'll split out. It allows room, and Matty Cash is our only offensive right-back option, let's be fair. Duncan Kilburn says Cash. Yep, Gary, Cash. Nickelodeon, Matty Cash, right-back. I think we have to do it, right? I'm in complete agreement with all of you guys. I think Matty Cash has to start at right-back. I think he absolutely has to. He's our best right-back. He has been probably up there for player of the season shouts this season, I would argue. So yeah, it definitely has to be. Right-sided centre-back, I think we all know who this is going to be, but unless anyone wants Victor Lindelof to start over Ezri Konsa, I'll give you guys maybe just 15 or 20 seconds to put in your votes for our right centre-back before we get onto the talking point, which is obviously going to be that left centre-back role. That will be obviously the next one to talk about. Or we can do both centre-backs, however you guys want to do it. Konsa, Torres and Konsa 100% from Gary. StreamYard's just a little bit behind at the moment. EKLCB. No, there's no way you want Ezri Konsa at left centre-back. You must mean right centre-back, Nickelodeon. You must. I don't know why StreamYard is being a little bit laggy with the comments, but I can see them all on the other sort of like live comment thing I have up on my my phone here. I think we're all in agreement, right? It has to be Ezri Konsa. Right? It just simply has to be. Not left centre back. Right centre back. There we go. Now, left centre back. Who are we going to go for left centre back? Because this one's a bit of an interesting one because Mings has been getting the nod a little bit recently. Pau recently dropped to the bench for a couple of games. Leeds, Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front, physical, target man, number 9, something that Pau Torres historically does struggle with. I think a cat has just barged its way into the room. Who do you think? Put your comments down below. I'm just going to shut the door. There is a cat. There is a cat. Who do we think? Who do we think? We've got 2 votes for Mings. Anyone else? Anyone else think Pau Torres should get the nod in here? Interested to hear. I'm sure there's a couple of other of you that want to have your opinions heard. Let's get them in. Sid Kapoor 6. Mings to deal with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does. Pau Torres does struggle against strikers that can get their back into him a little bit. Remember when Leeds stuffed us 3-0, Bamford hat-trick at Villa Park. Never forgot that. Where the hell is Bamford playing nowadays, by the way? X-Bills says Dejan Lovren in at left centre-back. I think that's the one we've got to go for. I think it's going to be Lovren. Anyone else disagree? The cat wants to leave now. Honestly, these creatures. Go on, Severus. He is a delightful little lad. No, I think Mings is getting the most votes here. So I think it is going to be Mings. I need to figure out how to do polls on StreamYard. Leave that with me, guys. I'm going to figure out, because then you guys can just all vote live. I'm going to Google how to do that. Now, left back. Do we go with, oh, sorry, my controller disconnected, Luca Digne, or do we go with Ian Maatsen, one of my favourite players for Villa this season when he does get the chance to shine? But we need a passer from defence. That's the only argument for Pau Torres, of course. Konsa's got a good passing range as well, to be fair. But who do we think should be getting the nod at left back? Ian Maatsen. Digne is in shocking form. He is. He definitely, 100%, in my opinion, unequivocally, should have been sent off against Newcastle in the FA Cup. Duncan says Maatsen 100%. Yeah, Digne should have been off against Newcastle. Maatsen 100%. Digne struggling. And for anyone who thinks that Digne shouldn't have been sent off, if, let's just say Goodmanson, because we've spoken about him already in this video, if Goodmanson made that challenge on Emi Buendia, say, and he didn't get sent off, we would all be fuming. It was a red card. It was stupid. Maatsen from Black Country Villain. Digne should have been sent off twice. Yeah, why is he handballing it, playing basketball in the box? Yeah, I mean, it has to be Ian Maatsen. Luca Digne, I think the age was always going to... What is he, 32? Which, God, I'm nearly that old. But, you know, it's not old, but in football terms, it's old. And he's been around the block. He's leaving with something. He's been around the block. You know, he's been at PSG, Barca, Everton. All of these clubs. I do feel like his age is just catching up with him. He looks so slow and cumbersome. Yes, he's got a fantastic cross on him. So does Ian Maatsen when he gets the chance to do it. Do you know what I mean? So moving into the midfield now, a lot of load has been put on our midfield. Onana and Douglas Luiz have both played a lot of minutes recently. And I think Luiz has looked a bit off of it. I understand he needs to get his match sharpness back. But who would you start in those two holding midfield roles? Obviously, with Cash coming back into the team, it frees up the option of having Lamar Bogard in there. George Hemmings is out injured, I believe, still. Or are we just going to go strong and just go Onana and Luiz and risk that injury? Those are the options. I mean, the options aren't great. Is there another cat in here now? There's another cat in here. Blimey. I am so popular right now, guys. We could chuck in the cats at midfield. That's how much we're struggling. Albie, come over it. Come on, boy. I want to show you how you can play in midfield. He's not in it. He's not in it. He's not feeling it. Duncan, Kilburn, Dougie, and Onana. No debate. Gary says, Duncan, I ain't here to debate with you, my friend. It's Dougie and Onana. And I think you're correct. I do think you guys are absolutely correct. I will say, I'm surprised, and is it... No idea. Bogard and Louise? Yeah. We're lucky your midfield is injured and we've only got Okafor out. Not a huge blow despite 2 games. Oh, is Okafor out? That's actually big for us, to be fair. I think he's a good player. Our midfield is decimated, mate. Now, before we move on to the attacking options, which I think is probably going to be where the most debate is going to come in this video in terms of the lineup, is anyone else, and again, it could just be because Douglas Luiz is not match sharp and he's definitely not playing as good as he could be right now. But is anyone else a little bit concerned that him and Onana just don't really seem to be clicking in midfield? I understand our whole team has been off of it, but our whole team's been off of it because our midfield is lacking. I just thought they would complement each other better. But obviously, Onana's very much more a defensive midfielder than anything else. But Luiz has been the one dropping in and pretty much joining in the back 3. I don't know. They'll click in time, says Duncan. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I just thought they would complement each other so much better. Oh, Gary, you've jumped the gun. You've jumped the gun. Get the comment off the screen. Everyone ignore it. Right. On the right-hand side, then, who are we throwing in? Options for the right-hand side. Jadon Sancho seems to be the number 1 choice. We know ALYSSON is injured, apparently. I doubt it. Elliot's injured, so those 2 won't be in there. Leon Bailey, or we could go Morgan Rogers on the right-hand side. What do you guys think? We've got 1 vote for Rogers and 1 vote for Sancho. Everyone else get your votes in because we're cut tied right now. I can't put anyone in. We are tied. I am going to figure out how to do polls on this. Because if I can just put them underneath where I am as an extra overlay. Can you do live polls on YouTube maybe? I need to figure that out. Right, we need 1 more. We're split at the moment. I think Rogers should be central, says James. Bailey. Is that you saying you want Bailey in there? He was on the Aston Villa podcast this week. We need 1 more vote. We need 1 more vote. We've got Rogers. Bailey, not at all. No, fair enough. Rogers or Sancho then? What do you think? Gary, you could have the deciding vote here. Rogers or Sancho or Buendia out on the right-hand side. Could be any of them. Otto has gone for Rogers. That's 2 for Rogers. That's 2 for Rogers. I think I'll put him in there as a holding one. Rogers on the right-hand side. So who goes on the left then? Is this where we put Sancho in on the left? Yeah, Gary thinks Rogers on the right-hand side as well. I think, you know what? Cash and Rogers actually have a decent little link-up, don't they? Black Country Villain goes Rogers as well. So who's on the left then? Nickelodeon's gone Rogers on the left, but we've already got him. Sancho left. Gary says Sancho left. I think so. That looks like what we're going for. The majority rules. Brenda? Who the bloody hell's Brenda? Have we signed someone that I don't know about? You mean, I assume you mean Buendia. James on planes, Buendia in the middle then. Black Country Villain, Sancho on the left. Well, that brings me on to my next point in the middle. Here are the options. Yeah, Buendia, Otto. Sorry, I do know, mate. I do know. So everyone's going to go Buendia, I would assume. Duncan says Buendia. Buendia, good day. The team is all internationals, should win. When you put it like that. No, Mings isn't, to be fair. Neither is Sancho at the moment. Don't know. Here's what I want to throw into the mix. The options for number 10. Obviously, Emi Buendia. Ross Barkley hasn't looked too bad. And we do need to start resting some players. And Barkley is a fully accomplished, again, like you say, international player. Or do we go Tammy and Watkins up front? What do you guys think? Buendia, Barkley, or Tammy and Watkins up front? And go back to the 4-4-2. Not as cut and dry when I say it like that. It probably is. Buendia is not a starter, is he? He hasn't really been setting the world light when he does start. He's much better off the bench as a little impact. Nippy. That's what I call. We need to call Buendia Nippy. That's what I want his new nickname to be. Nippy Emmy. Nippy Emmy Buendia. Because he just nips at people's ankles. He's a little Rottweiler in there. Oh no, Rottweilers are massive, aren't they? What's like a little yappy dog that would just nip at your ankles? Not a Chihuahua, because I'll give Emi Buendia some credit. He's not that short. What are they called? Yorkshires? Is that a dog or a dessert? Or like something that goes with your roast dinner? Bulldog, yeah. Little nippy bulldog. Roadrunner beep. That is Emi Buendia's officially new Jack Russell. That's what I'm thinking of. Not a Yorkshire Russell. What's I on about? That's definitely something that goes with, yeah, Barkley is a decent sub. He has been on form. Yorkshire. Oh, there is a Yorkshire Terrier. I'm not crazy then. But that is his new name. Emi Buendia, from now on this channel, is going to be referred to as Nippy Beep, but wait, no, that's a bit of a tongue twister. Nippy Beep Buendia. That's what we're calling him. But I think we'll go with the majority ruling. Buendia. Sorry. Nippy Beep Buendia gets the nod at the number 10. So that leaves the most contentious position in the Aston Villa squad. We have Tammy Abraham scored his first goal for Villa on the weekend, albeit it was definitely offside. But his link-up play was brilliant. On the ball, he looked very, very good, very, very strong. All round, looks like he's a goal threat and is linking up really, really well, holding the ball, dribbling well, all of those good things. Then on the other hand, you have a man who would struggle to hit water if he fell off a boat, who has the first touch akin to a toddler, who completes how many dribbles per game do you reckon Ollie Watkins completes percentage-wise? 5% of his dribbles. His passing accuracy has fallen off of a cliff. But must have some incriminating pictures of Unai Emery on his mobile telephone device, because he is Unai Emery's adopted son. Everyone's just gone Tammy. The comments, for some reason, the comments aren't updating on StreamYard. They'll all come back in a second, but I can see all of your comments here in the chat. Yeah, can't believe we lost Marlon is very, very true. But everyone's going for what I think should happen. And that is, oh, there you go. They've all just come in now. That is just Tammy. Black Country Villain says Tammy. Nickelodeon 81, Tammy Abraham. Otto, Tammy's finish. It was great. It was a good finish. Duncan, Tammy 100%. Not even a discussion. Tammy, otherwise I'm not watching. Can't believe we've lost Marlon and Tammy. And there is your lineup. If I hide the comments for just 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds so we can go through it. Emi Martinez in goal. Ian Matson on the left with Matty Cash on the right, making up our fullbacks. Mings and Ezri Konsa in the middle with Douglas Luiz and Amadou Onana just in front of them, screening the back line and providing some midfield strength in a time where we don't have that much strength in midfield. Sancho on the left-hand side with Rodgers moving out to the right-hand side. Nippy Beep Buendia in the middle. And then the big man, Tammy Abraham, coming back into starting for Villa in the Premier League. That's the team, says Duncan. The only debate would be Torres or Mings. I completely agree. Again, part of the territory with Leeds playing a 3-4-1-2 is that they will flood the midfield in central areas. So perhaps you do want Pau Torres in there for those line-breaking passes. Now, I am going to try. Everyone bear with me here. Kink Jovil Buluska 1081 says Lamar Bogard. Where would you start him? Who drops out of this team for Bogard and where does he play? Because he can play in a myriad of positions. So please do let me know. But that's the team that you guys have gone for. That's the team as voted by you and me, because I completely agree with you. So there we go. Let me get rid of that. Thank you for that, guys. That was really good. I like it. Let me get back to the comments now. As we have another 10, 15 minutes, we can just discuss what on it. I went for a run and a gym today. That's why my hair is all over the place, by the way. What's everyone thinking of the new beard tash combo? I'm thinking it's pretty good. First of all, right, let's just have a little chat with you guys, man. 10, 15 minutes, man. Put your comments in the live chat and we'll chat about anything Aston Villa or Leeds or Premier League or transfers, whatever you guys want to do. That's the beauty of these live streams. We can have a bit of fun at the end. Now, Duncan says, I can't believe we lost Marlon. If you've seen the video on the channel, I've done a video on Daniel Marlon. Roma are going to trigger that clause to buy him. 25 million euros, which I believe is what we paid 2 years ago for him. He's got 5 goals in 5 games for Roma, absolutely smashing it. And we're still scratching our head with Ollie Watkins. Right, where are we? Pau has been disappointing recently. I completely agree. He's been off of it, mate. Well off of it. Blame us if we lose. I mean, it's our game to lose, isn't it? It's at Villa Park. It's against a team. They're in the bottom half of the table. Again, you can't take anyone for granted in the Premier League, but we should be winning it. ELLIOT, good for Europe. Yes, Gary, you might have joined us a little bit late. I did go over that at the start of the live stream. Yes, it has come out today. Breaking news. Villa could have played in any European games. The clause doesn't apply for European games. Now, I think surely with that coming out now, I think Villa didn't want that to come out, and we were trying to use him not playing as leverage for Liverpool to drop that clause. But with him coming out now, I expect him to play a big part in the Europa League going forward this season. Probably why we didn't want to terminate his loan. How realistic is the Wilson free transfer? Again, guys, if you haven't seen it, video out on the channel today, this morning. Probably realistic. He's on low wages. He's 28. He's Premier League proven. He's a bit of an Emery player, isn't he? I think it's realistic. I think it could happen. Harry Wilson, yeah, video out on the channel, Otto, today. Same story with John Duran. Yeah, did anyone see that clip of him? He looked like he was playing like power leagues, 6-a-side. I play 8-a-side now, which is actually really good fun. I think I prefer it to 6s. But alongside 11-a-side guys, I just play the game. Just love it. Just love the play of the game. A proper CDM, if I've ever seen one. But yeah, he looked like he was playing on a power league pitch. Like, the power league pitches that you have to, I drive past them when I got to Villa Park to park in, the parking that they offer. It looked like he was playing on one of those for Zenit. First 5 minutes of his first appearance for Zenit, and he literally headlocks. So literally, he's shoulder to shoulder with his defender, headlocks him, and then drags him to the floor. Only got a yellow for it. No idea how. Should have been sent off. How to ruin your career in 3 steps. John Duran will be a WikiHow soon. How to ruin your footballing career with pictures. I swear every Prem club has been linked with him. Yeah, because he's banging it. Do you know what I mean? He's banging it. He's doing it. He's Premier League ready, proven at a great age. God, I sounded like soccer AM there, didn't I? Great age. The less said about that segment, the better. Wilson would be excellent on a free. Yeah, I would agree. I think on a free, although I would say if we get Champions League, Should we be a bit more ambitious than Wilson? Friendly, apparently. Fair enough. Honestly, I don't think we should be going for Wilson. Age profile should drop down. Bergvall next to Rodgers would be redonkulous. I've done a video on Bergvall as well. I've done a video on Bergvall, Mr. Tech Biz. I'd like him. Just depends how much. Hey, we should raid Spurs when they get relegated. Because West Ham were doing well. Duncan wants Wilson on the right wing. I wouldn't mind him in that 10 role, being a little busy 10. He's an upgrade on Bundia. Or again, if we play him on the right-hand side, he's an upgrade on Sancho. Not Sancho, Bailey. Could you imagine Kudus in our team? Finally, a little bit. Villa get a bit of pace. Over 2 million and Dobbin for Bergvall. I like it. Straight swap. Dobbin for Kudus. Take it or leave it, Spurs. Take it or leave it. What cat is in here now? Another cat has just entered. I don't know where they have gone. Let me shut that door quickly. Bloody cats everywhere. Bergvall is decent. Yeah, he is really, really good. He is really, really good. Oh, predictions. Bloody hell, we haven't done our predictions. What do I think is going to happen in this league game? I'll be honest. I'll say when I'm confident. I'm quietly apprehensive for this Leeds game. Because they're a bloody good team. I think. However, we should win. We have to win. Every game now in the Premier League, there's a couple of free hits. Not free hits. There's a couple of games where you think, if Villa lost it, is it the end of the world? Like when those last 2 games of the season, I think we play, what is it we play in the last 2 games of the season? Liverpool and City back to back. Really, really tough competitive games. Those ones are fine. But these games against, unfortunately, what is, and that's James, I only say unfortunately because you are in here, a lower league opposite, not lower league, but bottom half of the table opposition at Villa Park with a full week's rest. I will go through all of your guys' comments in a second, don't worry. We have to win. This is a cup final. Everyone, and I say everyone, literally everyone, is pretty much gone 2-1. Nickelodeon 2-1. Gary 2-1. Otto 2-1. Even James on Planes 2-1. Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score first, then Rodgers and Bundia 2-1. We go 1-0 down first. Yeah. We need Rodgers back on form, don't we just? Duncan's a bit more confident. He says 2-0. Emmy Martinez is in the form of his life right now. So I'll come back to your comments as well, Mr. Tech Biz. Don't worry. I am going to go 3-1 Villa. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet just because of how shaky and dodgy it is. Although Emmy Martinez has been playing really, really well. But I think something has to give and we have to start scoring again because we looked really, really bad in front of goal recently. Really, really bad in front of goal. I think the penny has to drop. Just like it sort of did with Arsenal. Arsenal were really underperforming their XG and then now it's starting to click and they're starting to score goals again. We need to start scoring goals again and I'm hoping this is the game where it does click. So I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go Morgan Rodgers to get a goal. Tammy Abraham to get 2. And I think probably someone like Calvert-Lewin will score a corner or something. We're terrible at defending set pieces. Austin McPhee, for all he does good for the club, we're still terrible at defending them. Now, Mr. Tech is amazing. I mean, Bergvall and Morgan Gibbs Wright. That's a good summer. Honestly, we must win the next 2 and not lose. A draw is okay against Chelsea, Man United, and Liverpool. Yeah, we have Chelsea and United back to back, man. That's a horror show. What's even more honking is that we have our first round of 16 Europa League game either in between them or 3 days after the United game. Although I think it's in between. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Proctor or Zich as the second goalie. We've been Wright seems to be getting called up a lot. I would imagine that Proctor will be the one. But Zich obviously had a lot of hype around him. Who knows? Who knows? I think he might be right, though. He seems to get called up quite a lot. Got to go up the Villa Nickelodeon. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to a revamp in summer, especially if we bottle the cup again. I'm hoping Leeds try to press us. It will force us to play through the middle and open things up. If they sit back, we might struggle because they're big and strong and will play for set pieces. One counter argument to that. Since we've lost Tielemans, Kamara, and John McGinn, we are not very good at playing past the trap. Not like how we used to be. A press, rather. And I do agree, when teams sit back, again, we can't find that impetus to go and break them down. But we're not looking fantastic when teams are pressing us. Newcastle done it. We give the ball away a lot and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. That's rough. Yeah. I honestly believe we played better on the bounce. Not worried about playing too many games. Probably more worried about the opposite. Not enough games. We need to just get something going because we are terrible. Blackburn versus Preston on Sky. Rather watch paint dry. Does Dobbin play for Preston still? Or does he go on loan to someone else? I lose track with all of our bloody loans in the Championship right now. But there we go. There we go. It is Din-Din's times for Rogers Reports. We've gone through the team. We've all predicted a Villa win. Please smash the likes. Before we all go, before everyone hops off, go and click that like button. There's 27 of you watching. There should be 27 likes. Do you know what I mean? But thank you all. Great to have a proper away fan on. James on Plains. Respect. Yeah, big respect to James. Stayed the whole stream. Gave us some good insights into Leeds. Wish you guys all the best for the rest of the season as well. Again, proper English club. One that I do like to root for. Cheers. New sub. Up the Villa. Up the Villa from Sunday. From Sunday onwards. Yeah. What is it? Up the Leeds? Up the Roses? No, it can't be Roses. That's great set of fans too. James, we do try. I ain't one of these fan channels that's just spitting disrespect and overreacting for clicky clicks. But thank you everyone for joining in. I should be live with the match review tomorrow, hopefully. I have got work, so I won't be home. It's a 3:00 game. We could aim for 6 again tomorrow, hopefully, around then. Maybe for a match review, maybe 6:30. Up the Villa from Scotland, Rob Cook. Up the Villa. No, wait, that's a terrible. I can do a Scottish accent as well. That's why I have to get into it. Lads, thanks everyone for joining me today. Super John McGinn, the meatball. It's been better. Yeah, they wind me up, they do. Who? Me? Oh, Arsenal fans. I can't. Honestly, guys, we need to stop Arsenal from winning the league. Anyway, I'm going to go and have dinner because my stomach is rumbling and I've got an early start tomorrow as well. But thank you, everyone, for joining. Again, hopefully you've all smashed the like, subscribe if you are new around here. And I'll see you tomorrow for a live review of the game. Let's hope it's a happy one, eh? Let's hope it's a happy one. Up the Villa, everyone. Have an absolutely spectacular evening and a fantastic weekend. And hopefully I'll be part of that weekend with you guys tomorrow when we can all wax lyrical about how good Aston Villa are. Wouldn't that be nice?